I remember as a little kid playing this game called Superheroes, where all the boys in my class would meet up on the playground, pick a superhero to roleplay as, and then engage in a giant imaginary fight until only one person was left. I used to love that game, but now that I've gotten older, I realized that the vast majority of superpowers are either absurdly dangerous to have or just plain fucking useless. So, I'm going to talk about what I thought of certain superheroes when I was a kid, and then rank their powers based on how I view them now. And for this episode, I'm going to be covering the Fantastic Four. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who gives a shit about the Fantastic Four? And I agree with you. They aren't a very popular group of superheroes currently. But what you're forgetting is that there were 2 Fantastic Four movies released during the prime years of the superhero game. So every member of the Fantastic Four was super important to my childhood. Well, except for Invisible Woman, of course. Her superpower completely depended on whether or not the kid you were fighting was willing to play along with your invisibility. Cause if they weren't, you were gonna get wrecked by that kid who just randomly fired an energy blast directly at your stupid invisible face. And now that I think about it, Mr. Fantastic was never really a very popular choice either, because in an imaginary fight, Mr. Fantastic's powers resulted in nothing more than punching someone, but from like, really far away. So far, in fact, that sometimes we would forget you were still playing. Oh, and obviously nobody ever played as the Thing because, well, the Thing was pretty much the Hulk, except he's weaker, his name sucks, and he permanently looks like a freak. So there was no reason to pick him. It would be like one of us picking a superhero who is just like the Human Torch. Except he's only 97% invulnerable to fire, and his name is the Torched Human. Oh, and while we're on the topic of the Human Torch, he was the only one we ever played as or even gave a fuck about. He turned into fire, he had a cool name, and well, that was about it, but that's all he had to do to put him miles above Dr. Stretchy and the Rejects Men. So the Fantastic Four were overall useless in the superhero game, but let's see if their powers are any better in the real world. And let's look first at the Human Torch's flame body. So if I understand this power correctly, it grants me the ability to summon uncontrollable, rapidly spreading, scorching destruction to the exact location I'm standing at. Wow, that sounds fucking terrible. It's a superpower that is only useful if I'm trying to set things on fire, and 99% of the time, I'm not trying to do that. And even if I was, the power still sucks. Do you know how difficult it would be to make a controlled fire with the Human Torch's power? It's like trying to start a campfire with a Tibetan monk. Like, yeah, you'll definitely start that campfire, as well as 7 other campfires, because turning yourself into a 6-foot-tall fireball is a dangerously stupid idea. Next up, the Thing's indestructible body. Having the Thing's indestructibility comes with a lot of positives, but none of those matter because they turn you into a rock-skinned abomination. And I know some people live what they think are normal lives with similar hideous disfigurements, but I am not one of them. If I woke up with rock skin, I'd immediately go outside and throw myself into traffic. Unfortunately though, that wouldn't be enough to kill me, so then I'd just be forced to try more and more ways of killing myself, like slitting my wrists, hanging myself, jumping off of a building, bullying emo teenagers, marrying OJ Simpson, making a Grindr account in Saudi Arabia, being a fetus inside a rich white girl, being a fetus inside a poor white girl, working a regular 9-to-5 office job. I guess that last one is more of a spiritual suicide for me, but you still get the point. Indestructibility is not a good power for me, cause it wouldn't let me kill myself, which is something I was already trying to do. Come to think about it, that means indestructibility is good. Damn. Next up, Invisible Woman's invisibility. Invisibility is a really strong power. If nobody could see you, you could learn top secret information, steal anything, assassinate anyone. You could use invisibility to take over the world. But you see, that sounds like a lot of work, and I'm kinda lazy, so realistically, I wouldn't do any of that. Nah, if I had invisibility, I would just use it to jerk off. Wherever, whenever. Gym, beach, funeral, it doesn't fucking matter. I'd just be dropping ghost loads all over town. Like, invisibility makes the world my Pornhub. Need I say more? Final superpower, Mr. Fantastic's elasticity. Now, the way that Mr. Fantastic uses elasticity, he really brings it down to its most gimmicky shit version of rubber band super hugs. And I ain't fucking with that trash. No, I have my own version of elasticity, where I've elevated it to its greatest potential by turning it into a power that can control people's minds. I call it manipulation elasticity, parentheses, using your giant penis to hypnotize people. And this is how it works. Use your super elasticity to stretch out your penis to a shockingly large size. And then double that. Then take that ridiculous wiener and helicopter it at people while yelling commands at them, thus successfully hypnotizing them. Now, depending on who you do this to, your hypnosis will affect them in different ways. For example, if you do this to a woman, you will manipulate her mind into pepper spraying you and calling the cops. But If you do this to that same woman's boyfriend who is standing right next to her, your meat sword will penetrate his mind and force him to think, oh no, my girlfriend just saw a guy who has a way bigger dick than me. I must act fast before she tries to fuck him. Maybe, if I pledge my undying servitude to him, he'll take pity on me and deny my woman the greatest sex of her life. Sex that she will soon be undoubtedly begging for. I guess that's technically not mind controlling him as much as it is just taking advantage of men's penile insecurities and lack of understanding that their partner's capacity for complex love goes far beyond wanting to get their pussy crushed. But regardless, the result is the same. I got a mind slave and an elephant cock. Hashtag blessed. Okay, well, that was the episode. If you like the video, I suggest that you smash your head against the wall because you're a terrible person. And if you're a terrible person, your friends are also probably terrible people and will also enjoy this channel. So share it to them and go to hell together. That's it. I'll see you again in 2 to 3 weeks with another one of whatever the fuck these are.
Sometimes I feel like shit. Sometimes I wanna quit. Ay, yeah. Bite my tongue and hope it hit. Wait, what? My emotions running shit. They run that shit, they run that shit.